What's going on, y'all? How's it going tonight?
Sorry.
As soon as I turned the mic on, she coughed.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. If I start coughing, I'll leave.
I thought that was funny.
Timing's good, right?
Perfect timing. Yeah, there you go. All right. Been a lot going on around here, guys. Like I said, I don't do a lot of news and political stuff anymore, but there's a couple little things here I got to hit on. But and then we're going to get into the bugging in. We touched on that last week. We're going to hit a couple of more high points this week, things that hopefully will help you out. I'm trying to get back more to that prepping instead of doing a lot of political stuff. Let me see what I got in here. Supposed to put here we go. Yeah, there it is. First, let's see who's in the house. First one in was JS Genesis Design. All right. Before we go any further, I'm going to give you a heads up. You want to stick around to the end. Don't leave. Don't leave. I got something going on here I want to share with you. All right. JS Genesis Design is with us. Patriot Ordnance is in the house. Yeah. Glenn Anderson. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Yes, sir. Glad we're going to discuss staying in SHTF. That's right. That's what we're going to talk about. Give you a couple more pointers. Hopefully you remember what we talked about last week. And this is just kind of going to add to it. So we'll do that. The Raiders in the house. All right. Shalom, brother. Shalom. Hope you're getting by all that weather out down there. I know you are, and got some bad weather down that way right now. Who else we got? Wanda Landry is with us. Debbie Jones. I want to give Debbie a special thank you for the shirts. Yeah. Does that look all right on your screen?
Everything's good.
All right. We were, I had a computer accident. You guys know that. I told you about that last week or a couple of weeks ago. And I'm just now getting everything back straight. I'm not the greatest computer guy in the world.
It looks exactly like it looks on looking at you.
And when brought the screen up tonight, everything was backwards. And I thought, whoa, something ain't right here. But I finally figured it out. Who else we got down here? Tammy Joe is with us. And my sister Lynn Stalker. Thank you so much, you two, for being here. There's the Buzzman. Yeah. David T4. Come on down. Who else we got down? There's Bill Kilmer. Thank you, brother, for being here from the metropolis of St. Cloud. Yes, sir. Happy to see you with us tonight. Come on down. Short-lived Saint, my man. I still got your prizes right over there. They're sitting there. We got to get together. If we get together for lunch or dinner, or if we go to the gun range again or something, you have two prizes waiting on you.
You're way overdue for the gun range.
Yeah, I do need to do the gun range again. We need to work that out, brother. Iowa's in the house with us. All right. Kathy Martian Paul's here. Here's the other Iowa crowd right there. Yeah, all right. Janet and Todd. Hope I'm on the big screen again tonight. That way I feel like a movie star.
You are.
All right. Come on down. There's Todd right there. My man right there. There it is on the big screen. Thank you guys so much. Who else? Sports Mobile is with us. Kayla's back. My girl right there. There's the Metal Man right there. Metal Textile. Come on down. We got anybody else in here? I'm sure we do. We got a good number in here. Appreciate it, folks. I truly do. If I miss you during the roll call, I apologize. Teresa, all right. How'd you like that tour that Rural gave us of the campsite? I saw you in there today. That's pretty cool. I'm going to tell you what, I wish I could have got up there. But that's just too far away for me to go. Rural is in the Bug Out Weekend 2025 this week. And he set up his camp today, and he did a little live video and showed everybody how he set up and everybody around him. Very cool. There's the original Hill Bill right there. That is a mountain man, y'all. He lives the life. Yeah. Thank you, Teresa. Hit that like button. Y'all appreciate it very much. Who else we got down here? Kayla's with us. Did I give Kayla a call? If I didn't, I just did. How's that? Hey, Dayo's with us. All right, then. Pittsburgh with Jeffrey. And all right. Hope, yeah, Edith's with them, I'm sure. She's watching. Hope she's doing well. Come on down. That's it. Yeah, I guess I called out everybody. That's fine. We got a good bunch in here tonight. But like I said, stick around to the end. I got something for you. Wasn't scheduled. I just thought about it and said, yeah, let's do it. So Lady Prepper said, yeah, that'd be good. So we're going to rock and roll. But let's get into it. How about our favorite girl right there? All right. Jasmine Crockett. She is the new star of the Democratic Party. And she still hadn't learned that the race card's been overplayed and nobody cares anymore. She keeps on babbling that crap. And I think it's funny. I do. I'm finding it kind of entertaining because nobody's listening to her.
But her and AOC need to keep talking.
Yeah. Her and AOC both. They just need to keep rattling that head. That's all. Do it. There was some good news out of Washington this week. Don't know if you guys saw it or not, but there's a settlement in principle for the Ashley Babbitt murder by the Capitol police officer. It's a shame his ass ain't in jail and he wasn't charged criminally. But if the roles were reversed, if it was a white Capitol police officer and a black female that got shot, that guy he would be in jail right now and probably wouldn't see daylight for a long time. But they did agree in principle to an amount, $30 million. So hopefully, that'll help the family a little bit. I'm sure it will. That's a lot of money. I mean, that's not like having a family member. I know that. But they're finally going to get a little closure out of this thing. But I'm sure, just like me, they want to see that guy's ass in jail. That was murder, straight up. No doubt about it. That simple. It was murder. And we know why he wasn't charged. So they ain't no need in rambling on about that. Let's just move on. Right here. This ain't good, y'all. If you got an account with TD Bank, you might want to check and see if if your bank is one of the branches that's being closed. They're going to close 38 locations in the next month. There's a list there. You guys can see it. The number of banks in certain states. But there's a few others that's not listed there. So if you have an account with those folks, go check with them, make sure they're still going to be there at the end of the month when they shut those banks down. What we got here? Greg Abbott needs to deport Crockett to California. Absolutely. Yeah, that's where she belongs. Yeah, absolutely. That would be a good. She's a rising star in the Democratic Party. Her and AOC.
Good.
Yeah. That's where they're going to hang their shingle in 28. So we'll see how that works out. But we're going to get on to our topic at hand tonight. Don't know if you guys heard about this one, but a utility company has found that the Chinese-made power inverters for their solar power system has been sending out cellular signals somewhere. They don't know where. They know that the power company knows that they didn't put those components into those power inverters. But they've also been found in a couple of other items. What was it? And some batteries, heat pumps, and electrical vehicle charging stations. These are Chinese-made electronics that have transponders in them that weren't put in by the people that are using them. The utility companies, the car charger stations, the heat pump manufacturers, they did not put those components in there. Basically what they've done, they bought these electrical components from Canada, Well, China's big in Canada now anyway, but they bought them from China and they had these components built in, and they discovered they've been sending out signals to God knows where. But if you have a power inverter for your solar power system, you don't need to worry about it because they're not in the smaller ones like the ones we use, but they are in those. So hopefully they're digging into that to see what's going on. But that's just China having access to our power grid. Any of these utility companies that's using solar power in their systems, China can probably shut them off whenever they want. It's that simple. And why do you think that would cause? I think that would be a little problem. Yeah, it might cause a grid failure. Pretty sure it would. That's one of the things we're going to talk about tonight. When that happens, if the grid does go down, we're talking nationwide here now. We're talking straight up SHTF. You know what's going to happen? The government's going to put everybody on lockdown. You're going to have to bug in. And that's what we're talking about tonight, is being ready for that. But it doesn't have to be just a power grid, which is highly likely, actually, with an EMPs and now this new threat that we found in these power companies. You know, it could be a solar flare. It could be things like, you know, an economic collapse. Or like I've said before, this one little nuke going off somewhere here in the United States, they're going to lock us down, boys and girls. It's that simple. You need to be ready for it. And that's what we're about to get into. This is for all you guys. Thank you for being here. Love every one of you. All right. What did Lynn add here? TD Bank has been robbed 2 times in the last month in Ocala. Oh, my goodness. 1 time by law enforcement. Okay. I'll leave that right there. All right. Is that Rural up there? There he is. Wants to say hello to everyone. Yeah, he's up there in Bug Out Weekend. Appreciate that tour today, buddy. Glad I caught that. I just happened to log on and see what was going on, and there you were. So thank you so much for that. But let's get on with it. We're bugging in here now. Other than the basics, which we've gone over 100 times here, food, water, comms, defense, you guys should have that ready. We know that. But here's one I'm going to throw at you. You might want to kick in and start working on right now. These are things you need to start working on if you haven't already. And the one I'm going to recommend here, if you have all of that other stuff ready, get that ready first, guys. Get the basics ready first. You want to try to get you a video cameras set up around your home or your apartment or your condo. We're going to get into that in just a minute. You guys actually have a little bit of a benefit, but we're going to get into that in a minute. But these are the kind of things, this is something added that honestly, I need to get to work on. I've kind of dropped the ball on that a little bit myself, but I'm going to start to work on it. And you need to too. Get you some cameras, get you a network going. Get those cameras set up, you know, in areas to surveil your property or the entrances to your home or whatever. I mean, pretty much everybody has a Ring doorbell. I mean, even we have that. We can tap into that on our cell phone. No big deal. But you want more than that. You got more than one entrance to your house. You want to get you a good video camera set up, maybe one shooting like down your driveway, or, you know, get you some solar power cameras you can locate away from your house that's within range of your Wi-Fi. They're solar powered, so they're going to transmit. Put them in trees, you know, on a fence post, whatever, shooting back towards your house. That way you can monitor that. You know, if there's somebody in your yard or whatever, you can check that out. Or put you some audible motion detectors around your house on your property. You know, if somebody crosses and gets into a certain area, that detector picks it up and bam, an audible alarm goes off. The best way to keep somebody from breaking into your house is to deter them before they get there.
Did they pick up like raccoons and?
Yeah, that's the problem.
I was going to say around here it would go off constantly.
They're going to pick up, if you live down in Florida here, it's going to pick up like raccoons or something like
Possums.
that. Yeah, possums. But you can actually adjust they have settings on them where you can elevate those and get them up to a certain height, and you don't have to worry about that. But these are the kind of things you need to look into outside of your basics. But some things you can start working on right now. What did Glenn say here? Speaking about power, anyone old enough to remember Kilowatt from the 50s?
Oh, Reedy Kilowatt. I remember him.
I don't remember that.
I have a little pin that
Reedy
belonged to my
Kilowatt.
mother that's him.
Okay, I don't remember.
He's a little
that.
lightning bolt guy, if I remember correctly.
But yeah, that's probably something that we learned in school.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. She remembers that. I'm not as old as you guys. So.
Oh my God.
What?
Stop it.
But thank you for bringing that memory up for her.
I know exactly what I was talking about.
But a couple of easy things you can do right now. I've mentioned it in the past, and it's free and it's easy. Just start observing your neighbors. Okay. Start watching the people in your immediate area. When do they get deliveries? Like I mentioned earlier, the people that you see going out every morning to go get coffee.
They're going to die.
You know, they're not going to be ready if things go sideways. And you need to start noticing these things. See if they're ordering in dinner. If they do, how often do they do it? You know, stuff like that. It's just so easy. And like I said, it's free. But these are things you need to start recognizing right now, and keep paying attention to them, because the way things are going, you never know. You know, it could all go sideways in a heartbeat anytime. But another one thing you need to do is evaluate your own property. Go outside, go to each entry point of your house, your front door, your back door, your garage door, and just stand there and look around and see if there's any areas that you can't see just in plain sight. Somewhere that might be a problem, just in case somebody tried to sneak up on your house. You need to be familiar with those, so you'll start paying particular attention to them. And once you need to start trying to figure out ways to fortify the entry points to your home. The doorways, the windows. We all got windows. You know, find ways to fortify those in an SHTF situation. If it's nothing but just covering them with blackout curtains, that's something we're going to get into here in just a minute. You know, or plywood or cardboard, or putting black trash bags over your windows. Anything to keep somebody from looking in. That's part of fortifying your property. These are simple things that anybody can do, and they're not expensive. Now, here's where apartments and condominiums sometimes have an advantage. If you're on the second floor or higher in a condo building or an apartment building, you probably just have two access points to your home: the front door and the sliding glass door going out to your balcony. Now, I'm sure you have windows, but the only way, you know, if Spider-Man decides he wants to crawl up the wall and come in your windows, you might have a problem. But that's very unlikely. So you only have two access points that you need to try to control. Like I said, if you're on the second floor or higher. Now, if you're on the first floor, that's just like owning a home. You're at ground level. You need to do all of those visual evaluations I talked about. You have many more access points because you have windows. These are the kind of things you need to think about now. It's not that hard to do, guys. So hopefully, some of this will help you guys out. But we also need to talk about a couple of other things you need to pay attention to. Piece of ice went down the wrong way. Ugh. First one, noise and light protocols is what I call it. Now, if we're in a lockdown situation in an SHTF, you want to stay as quiet as possible. If you got a TV inside that's blasting, or you're playing music, then everybody outside your home knows you have entertainment, you have power. You're not worried about reserving your power. So you're going to be a target. But on the light end, if it's a SHTF with a lights out situation, the grid's down, whatever. If it's just a prolonged blackout after a storm, you need to start practicing light protocols. You need to make sure that anybody outside your home can't look at it and say they have power in there. Because if things get too bad, that makes you a target. You got to be able to black those windows out. Now, you don't have to do it in every room in your house unless you want to, but just the living areas, where you're going to be. Your kitchen, you're going to be in there working, your living area, your bathrooms, your bedroom. But if you have like spare bedrooms or an extra bathroom, a den that you don't use, whatever, you don't really need to worry about it. If you're not going to have lighting in that area, just wherever you're going to have lighting, you need to make sure you can be able to black that out from the outside. In the SHTF, the last thing you want is somebody to be paying attention to you or your property. It's that simple. Do everything you can to make people not notice your home, your apartment, your condo, whatever. The last one, and this is the hard one, this is the hardest one of them all, is your trash and waste. If it's total SHTF, there's no power anywhere. The water company is not going to be pumping water, so your sewage system is going to stop working. We've talked about that before as well. You need to find a way to take care of your waste where it's still going to be healthy wherever you are in your home. And the trash, you got to find a way to get rid of it. You can't just burn it. You can't just take it out and burn it. I mean, that would be the easiest way to do it. And you might be able to get away with that in the daytime if you don't have a lot of trash. Now, if you are going to burn your trash, make sure it's under trees. Make sure it's under a tree canopy. So when that smoke rises, it'll get into that canopy and it'll break up and kind of dissipate. You don't want a column of smoke rising up out of your backyard. It's that simple. Then people will know you're burning trash, which means you have resources. And that's what you don't want them to know. And here's a little tip for you guys. If you don't have a dog, you might want to consider getting one. One of the best alarms you can have is a dog. When somebody unusual comes around your home, they're going to sense that, they're going to smell that, they're going to know it. And they're going to let you know. Unless they're like Tucker and he's laying right there asleep. No, he's actually pretty good about letting us know when somebody comes around the house. He really is good. But it doesn't matter if it's a big dog like him or a little dog. Really, a lot of those little dogs are better at letting you know than the big dogs are.
Chihuahua's not having it.
Yeah, because they all got Napoleon syndrome anyway. They know they're little, and any kind of threat around them, they have to try to scare them off. So, if you don't have a dog, you might want to consider getting one. And if you do have one, here's an exercise you can do with your dog. Whenever the mailman, the Amazon guy, the UPS guy, whoever.
Careful how you say it.
What?
Because he'll go crazy.
Yeah, that's right. He'll go nuts. Whenever they come to your house, you gotta act like you're excited. Who is that? What is it? You gotta act that way, and that'll teach them. They'll key on that, and then they'll start running to like the closest window, the closest entrance, or whatever, and they'll just start raising hell. You can train them to do that. He's great at it. I'm surprised he didn't jump up then when I
Todd
said that.
still has 7 puppies.
Todd's got 7 puppies he wants to give away.
He said we have 7.
Oh, wow. All right.
Remember those cute puppies he had? I'm too far away to get one.
There we go. If you're in his area, go over and get you a puppy, guys. It's free. Have at it. They're celebrating farm life. Mikey and Bill's with us. All right. Thank you, guys. But, your little trick with your dog, it's easy. They pick up on it quick. It's only going to take 3, 4, 5 times. When that delivery man rings that doorbell and you go, what is it? And you get excited, then they'll get excited.
There was a time he quit barking at the Amazon guy, but I was ordering too much.
Yeah. Amazon guy showing up 2 times a day.
He hates the UPS guy, though.
Yeah. And that's the nicest guy in the world. Our
I know,
UPS
right?
guy's the nicest guy in the world. But Tucker does his job. He lets us know. But, hopefully those tips will help you guys out. And develop those right now. Ridge Runner with us. There he is. All right, 2 German Shepherds. All right, there you go, buddy, right there. He's got them keyed up. But you can start with those protocols right now, guys. Everything I told you, I told you should do tonight, you can start doing it right now. And it's free. And it's things you need to do. And this is the kind of thing I'm going to start bringing to you guys. It's stuff like this. I hadn't decided just yet what I'm going to do next week, but it's going to be something along the lines that's going to help you in an emergency situation. We got hurricane season coming up. I'm already working on my hurricane special coming up at the end of this month, which isn't that far away, 2 weeks from now. Mm-hmm. So if you're in a hurricane area, make sure you're here for that. But I think we're going to kind of wind this down, but there's a couple things I want to point out to you. First off, let me see if I can get this in here. I forgot to load it up. Dadgummit. There it is. All right. This past weekend, we went over with Dr. Phil, and he had a little gathering. And we had Rachel and Chantel showing us how to make sourdough bread just out of basic ingredients. This is the kind of thing you got to learn too, guys. Bread gets scarce. You need to know how to make it. And it's not that hard to do. There's lots of classes out there. We had a great time doing that on Sunday. Not only did we learn how to do that with the basic ingredients, we learned how to do it in a Dutch oven. Don't have to have a baking pan and, a range or whatever. You can make this, in a fire pit with coals in your Dutch oven. We learned how to do that. So that's something you need to look into.
Now, Tammy Jo asked, how do you protect your chickens from hungry neighbors?
It's called a 9mm. Your chickens are going to be a problem because you know how they are when they lay an egg.
I think, though, if it got to that point, we'd probably put a padlock on the door.
They want the world to know that they laid an egg, so they announce it to everybody. Find a way to secure your hen house. But we're talking totally SHTF here. So if it gets that bad and somebody's stealing your chickens, you know what you need to do.
Pew pew.
Yeah, coyotes need to eat too. So I'll just leave that right there. But before I get out of here, I want to do a couple of things. One, like this shirt. All right. Well, I believe I'll give a couple of these away. Y'all want a shot at winning a shirt? I just happen to have a couple of them right here. All right. They're gray, dark gray, as you can see. Brand new shirt.
2XLs.
Hanes. So they're good quality. The size is 2X. So for some of you, you might have to wear them for a sleep shirt. But they're nice. Got the OP label on them. So I want to give these away. Let me see. I need to do some trivia is what I need to do. I'm not going to go to the randomizer. That's too easy, and I don't get any satisfaction out of it.
Well, you do what you need to do.
It's like having sex with your cousin. Just ain't no fun.
Not fun.
So, all right. I'm going to ask a couple trivia questions. First, here we go. This is for the people that's been with me a long time. You should know the answer to this. Why do I call this apple juice? Why do I call this apple juice? You guys should know. I've told you a number of times. Somebody hit me up here. Come on. Oh, I stumped everybody.
I don't even know the answer to that.
Yes, you do.
I do?
You should.
I know what I want to say about it.
All right, I'm going to give you a hint. Rat Pack. Rat Pack is the hint. Why do I call this apple juice?
Oh, I forgot about that.
See, now you know.
I don't remember exactly, though.
All right. Is that too much?
Oh, I know now.
Because you can? That's a good answer. What'd you say?
I think it's because...
Don't give the answer, but do you know?
I think.
All right. Yeah, she knows.
Right there.
What?
Ken Jackson.
Ken Jackson. Dean Martin drank it. And he called it apple juice. Ken Jackson wins the
Ken,
shirt.
I didn't even know you were there. You big
Yeah,
bobo.
buddy.
You gotta say hello.
Yeah, you got to say hello to us
Hey,
when you're in
yeah.
here, man. I didn't know you were even here. Yeah, he drank scotch and he called it apple juice.
I forgot about that, actually.
So this shirt belongs to Ken Jackson. All right, buddy, we got to get together. I probably got a bottle over here you'd like too. I think I'll give you one of those. So we got to work it out and get together. Okay. I'm going to go back to the very first trivia question I ever asked on a live stream. So it should be easy for you. Who was the original prepper? That one's easy, guys. Come on. Come on. Who's the original prepper? This one's easy, y'all. Everybody should know it. Did I start? Noah, there it is. Bill Kilmer, you're the winner, buddy. All right. Yeah, Noah's considered the original prepper in the prepping world.
And he had so many pets.
Yeah, and he did have a lot of pets, right? All right. Bill Kilmer, you need to shoot me an email. Let me put my email address up here. If you don't have it. Right there it is. Shoot me an email with your mailing address, and I will send this shirt to you. Ken Jackson, me and you got to get together, buddy. You ain't getting yours till we get together. It's that simple. You live right down the road. Hey, Dale said pinball.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good one, that's for sure. But you know, I wanted to share these with you. Like I said, Debbie Jones, thank you. Thank you so much for these. But before we get out of here, let me give you guys a little advice here. Here in Florida, we got some record-setting high temperatures coming up this weekend. So please, if you go outside, like I'm probably going to do, stay hydrated and take a lot of breaks. Take it easy. Don't get out and overexert yourself. It's not going to be fun. If you can, stay inside and stay cool.
Take your chickens cool water.
Yeah, if you got chickens, take them some cold water. Take them some water out there, put some ice cubes in it. The little trick she does, she puts ice water. She has cold water and she puts sunflower seeds in it. So the chickens have to get that cold water to pick those sunflower seeds out. So that's a nice little trick.
Cools them right down.
But keep your eyes on them. Make sure they're not panting, guys, especially down here. It's getting hot.
Yeah, frozen watermelon, frozen veggies, any of that stuff.
Yeah, anything
yeah.
frozen, mixed vegetables, corn, watermelon, whatever.
Yep.
You can take them some frozen vegetables out there. It'll take it a while to thaw out, and they'll be picking on it while it's doing it. So, all right, guys, I think I had enough for the week. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I put out a little video yesterday. Was it yesterday I put the video out? Yeah. Hope you guys will check that one out. Got one coming up this weekend. I was going to do one with my communications protocols, emergency communications protocols. I don't think I want everybody to be able to access that. So I'm going to come up with something, try to help you guys out with that. These are the kind of things we got to get into, guys. We got to get them right. Got to get them down pat, because you never know what can happen or when it can happen. So with that, I'm going to say stay strong, keep prepping, and pray for the USA.
Well, people are asking if you can buy the shirts.
Can you buy the shirts?
I haven't really gotten into production.
I haven't really gotten that far with them yet, but if I do, I'll tell you what, if you want a shirt, shoot me an email to that email address right there.
Linda Farrow's asking.
And give me your size. I'll see what I can do about getting some of them made up. I'll do what I can, I promise. So if I get enough interest, I'll order some, get it put together, and shoot them to you. So, all right. I appreciate you folks being here so much. I love you all. Thank you so much. Get ready, guys. Like I said, you never know when it can happen. So again, I'll say, stay strong, keep prepping, and pray for the USA. The Orlando Prepper is out.